The
recording has now started. We're working through old exam papers and examining exam strategies.
Thank you, Hendrik, and welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see that I've got Hendrik and Moses and Ketumetse, the girl that's out here. Hello, how are you? Moses, hello, how
Hello,
are
how are
you,
you, Mr.?
Moses?
I'm doing fine, thanks, sir.
I know we spoke before the recording could start, but this is just for the recording and so that other people will listen to you. By the way, on YouTube, so many views I get for my recording and video, so I'm happy for that. Hendrik, how are you, Hendrik?
I'm doing well, Mr. Governor. The weather's actually quite nice at the moment. It rained
Oh,
last night,
lovely.
but it's cleared up right now.
Lovely, lovely. Last week there was snow in Van Rieren's Pass. I was going to drive up there, but then they said, no, don't drive because you're going to just cause a traffic congestion. So I didn't do that. And yeah.
How cold was it actually in Durban?
Oh, it was cold. It was for us 12, 13 degrees is cold. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, we used to the 20, higher 20s. So great. Hey, I can see Swift is here. Hello, Swift. iPhone user is here. You want to unmute and say hi, hello? Hello, iPhone user. Unmute. I can't hear
Am
you.
I unmute?
Yes, go ahead. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. How's the studying going?
The studying is going very
Good. You want to share any strategies, study strategy? Something that you found useful? No, you're good. Okay. I think you've just frozen. The network seems to be. Anybody wants to share any strategies that you have in mind for studying? Anyone? Talk to me. No. Okay. Let's. Well, one of my strategies is past year exam papers because I believe that the past is a good predictor of future behavior. And Henry just confirmed we did quite a bit of 2023 paper. We've done 2022 and now gone to 2020 paper. So let's kind of predict what will happen in 2024. By the way, anybody's got the exam dates there? Moses, did you get the exam dates?
Yes, I got the exam date, sir.
When are you writing, Moses?
We are writing on the 21st of October, sir.
21st. Okay, you said it, not me, right?
Yes.
And is it in the morning, afternoon?
I think it's the morning. I'm not sure on that, sir, but I think
Okay, you need to confirm that, right? Sort out your leave, sort out network issues, whatever beforehand, right? So,
yes.
Moses, I think you're going to see something like this in a couple of weeks' time. And I think you asked me one of the questions from the previous paper. You asked me about part exam marks or something like that.
Yes,
So
I asked you the question that the question was in question 2 to 7 marks are awarded for part of answer. So to do whatever you are able to in question. I wanted to know what's the
Oh,
one,
okay. Okay,
one
so what the question said, or the instructions in questions 2 to 7, marks are awarded for part marks, right? And you wanted to know what that means. Okay,
Yes.
so I'll answer it to you like this, Moses. Very often when you are answering an exam paper, you are unable to get the correct answer because you must remember you're on time constraints. You don't have the compiler. You don't have your e-tutor to help you. So whatever you do, be it 2 or 3 lines from the 10 lines that you're supposed to, you will get a mark for that. All right. And I'm going to take a typical exam question and I'm going to show you how you can get some part marks in there. Okay.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask something, sir.
Sure. Go ahead.
And we're gonna use code blocks during our exam.
Right. That's a very good question. Believe it or not, one of the students asked that question and they copied me on the email. So let me just check on that email if ma'am has replied to me, right?
Okay.
In fact, years gone by, and I know I'm putting it in the recording, ma'am did allow you to use code blocks, right? So let me see if I can check if ma'am has replied to my email. And I'm opening up my email. Good day. My name is. Okay, ma'am has not replied to the question, right? I need to know, are we allowed to open code blocks during the exam? Okay, ma'am has not replied to that one, right? I'm sorry. But as soon as you know, I know, I'll let you know. I beg your pardon?
Is there another way to write your exams if you are not using code blocks?
Okay, firstly, we got to establish whether ma'am is allowing us.
Must you already know the code?
I don't seem to understand your question. Hello?
So Moses asked if we are going to use code blocks, and he said, "Ma'am has not." Can you hear me?
I'm losing you.
I think she has a network
Sir?
issue or something.
Yeah, you want to type it in the chat quickly.
Yes, I was asking, is there another way where we can, let's say ma'am says, no, we can't use code blocks. So are we just going to write the exam exactly like that?
Yeah, but I think she in the past she has allowed you to use code blocks. So I think she'd probably do that as well. But waiting for confirmation thereof, right?
Okay.
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 So if you the question also said was if you can't use code blocks, right? So let's say for
Yes.
instance, while you are in the exam and you say, hey, code blocks is not working or something to that matter, is it right? So there's another one called online GDB.
Okay.
Did you hear about that one?
Yes, I saw you sent a screenshot of it, and I wanted to know how do we use it in an exam.
All right. Again, we need to ask ma'am if she's allowing code blocks, then she should allow online GDB as well, right?
Okay.
So we just got to find out if I won't mind if you could ask the question as well, right? Email ma'am the question and copy me in it.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
So this is online GDB. Now let me tell you why I'm giving you a backup. Just you never know, Murphy's Law. Something may happen on the exam date that listen here, your code blocks is not working, and you are under time constraints. You have 2 hours basically to answer it. Let me just confirm that. Moses, is it 2 hours the papers, Moses?
This
The
is
papers
2 hours.
2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours. So if you are having hassles and your code blocks is not working, that's if they allow it, and you can always switch to online GDB, right? So online GDB is code blocks, basically your online compiler, yeah, right? So there we go. If you'd like, I could do a quick demo of that. Or I've one of my videos I've spoken to you about the online GDB. All right. So let's go on. So Moses, the question here is, let's look at that question again. It said, marks are awarded for part of an answer, so do whatever you can. So if this was the question, Moses. So Moses, I'm sharing my code blocks now. So they wanted you to answer, basically the answer is from, right. Moses, that question that I'm talking about, question 5 from October 2020, they wanted you to answer lines 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So let's say, for instance, Moses, you are unable to answer lines 31 to 32 for some odd reason. Make sure that you include lines 27, 28, 29, 33, 34. So you, at the very least, will get part marks, right? That's what I mean by whatever you do, you'll get some marks for that. Does that answer your question, Moses?
Yes, it does, sir.
Good, good, good. By the way, that's my joke is, that's how I feel I passed programming, because under exam conditions, you don't get everything right. And you'll get stressed out, you miss a equal to sign or terminator or something like that. And as examiners, we tend to give you part marks, okay? So let's go on with the instructions. So that was the instructions in October of 2020. They say, answer all the questions in a Word document converted to PDF before submission. Number your answers clearly. Okay, that goes without saying. If it's question 1, A, 1B, 1C, 1 and 2 and 3. I'm an examiner and I also mark exam papers and test papers. And believe it or not, when someone writes neatly, automatically you feel as if you want to give them extra marks. And when someone answers, untidily, or they have lots of scratches, and you say, hey, what's going on out here? Then it's like a mental block to give them a good mark, all right? So write neatly. And with programming, I don't know how ma'am's going to mark. That's another question you can ask, whether she's allowing you to use a pencil, to mark in pencil. But generally, they like to have answers in ink, right? So if you write in pencil, you can always erase and, if you have some time at the end, ink it or something like that, right? So, okay. All right, let's go on to some other, let's go on to what other instructions were given. So, anybody on the call that wants to know how to convert to a PDF? I did this with you some time ago because they want answers in PDF format, not Word documents. And don't password protect it, right? So that's one of the instructions.
Sir?
Yes, Precious. Hello, Precious.
Yes, they said we must write okay, there's one question paper that says we must write our answers in Word form.
MS Word.
Or MS Word, not Microsoft Word documents.
In fact, you can do it in Microsoft Word and convert it to a PDF. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, that one I can do. And then if I'm writing with my freehand, then I scan it the way we're scanning our exams.
Yes.
And then afterwards you just convert to PDF.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you can go through all these instructions. I have uploaded this question paper to the MyUnisa portal. On the MyUnisa portal, I'm not sure if you have access to that. Can you see under additional resources? Moses, Hendrik, just confirm with me that I'm sharing my screen correctly.
Yes, Mr. Governor.
Okay, great. So there's a 2011 paper. I've got the paper and I've got the solutions. I can put that down because it's over 10 years, right? So it's a good idea to go through that. I've also got other past year papers, right? Oh, I copied that twice. Oh, no, one is a May 2011 and one is a November 2011. And I've got some solutions there in 2009, 10, 11. I've got January, February of 2022, 2019, and I keep other memos for me, right? I've also got the PowerPoint presentations, and I've got a text, right? I shouldn't be showing that, right? There's a text out there. So let's go and answer this question from October 2020. This is a long-worded question. In weeks gone by, we answered short questions. So, Hendrik, are you ready to read out question 5, October 2020?
Okay, Mr. Governor, ready here?
Go for it.
Okay, so part A is declare two integer constants row size equal to 4 and col size equal to 4 as well. Part B is declare two-dimensional arrays, namely play 1 with row size number of rows and col size number of columns, and play size 2 with row size number of rows and col size number of columns.
Right. So basically, Hendrik, they are asking you about a two-dimensional array. I'm not sure if you remember a two-dimensional array, the definition, what it is, Hendrik?
Data structure, Mr. Governor.
Correct, right? So number one, it's a data structure, right? And it's made up of rows and columns. So they're telling you out here, and they're giving you 4 marks to just declare a constant, right? So let me go and see what I've done out here on the top. There we go. They've given you 4 marks. So Moses, if you had to ask me, sir, will I get part marks for that? You're going to get full marks for this. So let's say, for instance, Moses, you didn't have all as is, right? So for some odd reason, you put, you forgot the word int out there, but you wrote down const row size equals 4. I will give you, if that was worth 2 marks, I'll give you 1 mark for that. Can you see how the part marks story works, Moses?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, great. But now, Hendrik, you are said declare 2 integers. There we go. There's my two integers, and column size equal to 4. So here's my declaration on the top there, right? Well, I just used constants declaration. I could have declared it inside without const as well, right? So that's my 4 marks. The next thing Hendrik mentioned was declare two-dimensional arrays, namely play 1 and play 2. So if that was worth 4 marks, I'll give you a mark for the name. I'll give you a mark for row size and column size, right? And maybe a mark out there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 marks. Okay. And again, Moses, let's say, for instance, you somehow or the other didn't write down int, you wrote down float. You are not answering the question because the question says 2 integer, then I'm going to take out 1 mark for that. All right? Okay. So there's my 4 marks for question 5B. Now, if I had to do this in Word, I would be answering it like this, right? So I'm opening up my Microsoft Word, and I'm going to say Q5A, and I'm just going to copy that there, right? Edit, copy. Let's see, where's my Microsoft Word? So now we are into exam mode. Okay, I don't need that. And let's see, there's my Word document. Right, so there's my, don't worry about all these spelling errors and everything. Microsoft Word doesn't understand that, right? So now I'm going to do question 5B. Q5B, I know that it works. And there's my Q5B here. All right, Control C and Control V. Right, so there's my 4 marks that I've got. I'm happy with that. All right, so I'm busy with that. Now go on, Hendrik. Let's see what was the next part. 5C, I think it is 5C. Let's open up 5C. Right, Hendrik, you on?
Okay, hold on. 5C. Assume that values have been assigned to all elements of play 1 and play 2. Also assume that int variable tricky has been declared and initialized to 0. Use nested for loops and write down the necessary C++ statements to do the following.
Stop.
Each row of play will.
Sorry,
open.
Hendrik, one sec, right? So let's just say Hendrik said assume. If they tell you to assume, you assume as if it's read in. All right. Now I'm going to write the program where it's not read in, and I'm going to show you how to do it because I want to prove to you that the answer I get the exact answer of 128. All right. Now, if in Moses asked me part marks, so Moses wants part marks, and because he's not sure what's going on, but he knows that it's been declared and it initialized to 0. So Moses, you can go and put that down in code blocks. You can open up code blocks and you can say, there's it in line number 10. In line number 10, I've initialized tricky and I've set it to 0. That's my assumption, right? That's from the ASSUMPTION. Now, Moses, because that's an assumption, and even if you put that down, they're not going to give you part marks for that. Okay, Moses?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, all right. But if you got some time and you want to include that, by all means, because maybe you're on 74% and they want you to get a 75. And they look through your exam paper and they say, oh, okay, Moses put that down. Let's maybe give it to him. All right? Okay.
Yes,
So now Hendrik made another nice assumption. He said they use nested loops. By the way, you can by heart memorize this, the lines 12, 13, 14, 15, because this is the strategy, the methodology, the way you write out or include values in a two-dimensional array. All right. And it's coming from the assumption as well that they said, right? But they're not going to give you marks over here because they did not ask you to read in values. So let's go back to that question. Was it 20? Right. Sorry, it was the question paper, right? So can you see, Mayor Hendrik said, assume you're making an assumption, and there's two arrays, play 1 and play 2. Okay. Right. Let's go back to code blocks. Let's go back to code blocks. Let's see what code blocks, what I've done. Right. So lines 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is how you would enter values into the array. Now, I'm just doing some little extra work with you. You don't have to do this in the exam. In the exam, they are giving you how many marks? Let's see, how many marks are they giving you for this paper? They're giving you, they don't mention anything here, do they? Oh, 8 marks. They're giving you 8 marks. By the way, you could have passed without even doing the computation, because 4 plus 4 is 8. You've got 8 out of 16 without even getting the computation right. Okay? And Moses, in this case, you could have got, out of that 8 marks, you could have got 4 marks without even getting the, I'll put it here as the computation, the processing part of it. Okay. So this is what you can memorize if you want to. For int x equals 0, x is less than row size x plus plus. For int y is equal to. So I could have made x to be column or row size. I'm just taking it from the memo as well, right? C out, please enter in a value for x. Please C in play 1. And if you are able to answer or enter in values for one array, you can obviously enter in values for another array. So there we go. I've entered the values for play 1. I need to enter the values for play 2. So it's a similar thing. And I've posted this in the WhatsApp chat, right? And I'll share it with you as well. Now, here's the computation. This is where you're getting 8 marks, right? You're getting 8 marks for this question. Again, can you see lines 28, 29, 30? No different from entering in values. The issue is lines 32, 33. So, Hendrik, you mind reading to me what processing needs to be done where it says something about equal to or not equal to and so forth?
Okay, each row of play 1 is compared element by element to the corresponding row of play 2.
Stop. So this is how in line 32, play 1 is equal to, double equal to sign to play 2, right? So there's my computation, there's my comparison taking place. Carry on.
Okay, if the elements are equal, add the value of one element to tricky.
Correct. There's the running sum. We call this a running sum, where it accumulates, right? So tricky plus equals to play 1, a row and column, right? Continue, Henry.
Okay. If the elements are not equal, add the sum of the two elements to the value of tricky.
Right, the sum of the two elements. So there we go. There's the else statement. Now, Moses, if you are able to only get the first part, then you're going to get part marks for line 32 and not 33. But I can tell you, if the way I'm looking at it, ma'am probably gave you about, 3 marks for that, 3 marks for that, 6, maybe another mark for that, 7, 8. So you were not going to lose a lot of marks. All right. So here's the program. Let's run the program, right? Let's run the program to see how it works. Now, obviously, in the exam, you're not going to have time to run the entire program, unless, of course, you are very fast. And right, so let's have a look at this. So please enter in values for 0, 0. So if you looked at my background, if you on today's Zoom session, so enter in values for 0, 0. By the way, we start counting from position 0. Position 0, 0 is 1. Right? Is 1. Henrik, position 0, 1. What's the value, Henrik?
5, Mr. Governor.
Correct. Position 0, 2. That means in our ordinary English, it's row 1, column 3, right?
Yeah, so it'll be 3.
Correct. Position 03.
And that'll be 7.
Correct. So I've completed the first row for play 1. Now, 1 position 1 comma 0, which is Henrik.
6.
Correct. 1 comma 1.
8.
Correct. 1 comma 2.
5.
Correct. 1 comma 3.
8.
Correct. 2 comma 1 0.
That will be 3.
Correct. 2 comma 1.
Also 3.
Correct. 2 comma 2.
Also 3.
Correct. When I say 2 comma 2, I mean row 2, column 3, which is
Okay. Row 2, column 3 will be 8. Oh, no, sorry.
Five.
No, I'm getting confused now.
Yeah.
It'll be 7.
5. Correct. Right. So I know it's weird. It's because we start counting from 0, Henrik, right? So
Yeah.
That's how computer programmers are. Enter position 3, comma 0, which is row 4, column 1.
It will be 7.
Correct. Next. 8.
It'll be 8.
And then 1. And then 5, right? So we've completed
Right.
the first matrix, right? Now we go on to the second one, which is play 2. I should have had some nice headings and all of that, but I just went ahead. So let's go for it. 0 0, position 0 0.
4.
Correct. Right. Next one.
6.
Correct. Next one.
3.
Correct. Next one.
7.
Correct. Next one.
5.
Correct.
0.
Next. 0.
7, 8.
All right.
8, 7,
8,
6, 5.
7, 6, 5.
7, 3, 4, 5.
7, 3, 4, 5. And that does it. There we go. That's how it looks. 1537, 1537, 6858, 6858, double, triple, 3, 5. Right. Okay, I should have had a line in between. And then finally, the value of tricky is 128. There we go. So it compares each one. It compares 1, 4, and it adds only 5, 11, 3. So, and that's how you'll get your full 8 marks. Okay. I think I should take a screenshot of this. I think I posted it. Let's quickly post a screenshot new. All right, so you get to see it, and also you get to understand. All right. So there's my screenshot. It'll be a good idea if you can work it out by yourself. This also explains to you a 2-dimensional array, all right? So let's see. Right. Okay, right, go for it. So that's how you'll get your full 8 marks there, and 8 marks on the top, which is 16 marks for this question. Definite question. I'll bet my bottom dollar on it. Arrays will appear in the exam. If you can answer a 2-dimensional array, you know how this works. 1-dimensional array should not be a problem. Any questions regarding question 5 from October 2020? Moses, Chetimetsu, Swift, Rams. I don't think Rams is here today. Rams must be on the road. But I acknowledge you, Rams. If you're watching, you're gonna watch the video afterwards. I hope you get a smile on your face when I'm calling out your name. Anybody with a query question?
I don't think so, Mr. Governor.
No, you're okay. Douglas? Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead, ask the question.
No, I was saying it's okay. We understand.
Okay, great, right? So array is a different question, different question. Let's look at another question from there. This is a long question. I'm looking at the long questions now, right? So let's look at the long questions. Question number 6. Go for it, Hendrik.
Okay, question 6 for 14 marks. A sanitary ware shop keeps the following information for the items in stock. A description, a string, for example, bath. Code to distinguish between items with the same description and color but of a different design. A string to store 6 digits, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Color, a string, for example, white. Number in stock, an integer, for example, 49. Price, a floating point number, for example, 349 Rand and 95 cents.
Great.
Write
By the way,
down
I like it when Hendrik is reading it out. In fact, you must do that as well, because as you're reading it, you try and get a grip on what the question is all about, right? And sometimes when we're reading it aloud, we are hearing with our ears and it gets in. I just feel that's pretty cool. Now, if you are using proctoring software, Moses, Hendrik, did they mention anything about the invigilator software or proctoring software?
Not as far as I'm aware, Mr. Governor.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, but they did say that it's a home.
I think they mentioned Iris.
Iris. Okay, Iris. Yeah. Right. So that tends to pick up your voice. So be wary as well. Don't just read it out aloud because it'll assume that you have someone in the room and that's helping you or whatever. Right. So I like this when you are studying because it tends to help me. I don't know about other people, but that's right. So let's see. There's the right. So here's the. I should put this aside on. So they just want. Right. So I'm just going to keep this next to me. So this question on structs must appear, and it's marks for jam. When I say marks for jam, you're going to, be very upset if you say, "Hey, I'm going to leave this out." And right, so let's look at the way Henrik was talking, and he says description. I should put it the other way around because we tend to read from left to right. I'm not sure if you saw my joke on Heritage Day. I said Happy Heritage Day. I wrote a Struct program. Did you see that? Did you think it was cute?
Yes, we saw that there.
Okay. So right. So thank you for that joke. That was a joke on Structs, right? Those of you who right. So Hendrik is good. Hendrik, just read that out to me one more time, Hendrik, please. On the top, start on the top.
Okay. All right. A sanitary ware shop keeps the following information for the items in stock. A description, a string, for example, bath.
Stop.
There
we go. Stop,
okay.
Hendrik. Can you see? Look at line. I'm just going to highlight for you there. Right? There we go. Description, okay. String. So Hendrik said description string. The way we declare a struct, you include the data type first and then description. A struct is basically a record. It's made up of a number of fields, and the fields could be different. More often than not, they are different. Whereas with an array, Hendrik, the elements in the array, all of them are the same, right? That's how the word is homogeneous, elements in an array. Whereas in a string, I'm going to have field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. So there's 4 fields. And Hendrik has told me description is string. So we'll write it as string description. Next one, Hendrik.
Okay. A code to distinguish between items with the same description and color, but of a different design. A string to store 6 digits.
Correct. There we go. String. And they said they're even telling you code. There's the word code, and they're giving you an example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they're mentioning it that it is a string. There, look at that. Look at that. Next line. Go on, Hendrik.
Okay. Okay, we did that. Color. A string, for example, white.
Right. So you write down string, color. right? Next one,
Okay.
Henry.
All right. Number in stock, an integer, for example, 49.
Okay, and that's how you complete it. Now, one more thing you'll note, a struct has a terminator at the end of the semicolon, at the curly bracket, right? So, and the name is given. They're telling you the name. They're telling you items in struct, item. There we go, struct item. If you saw my joke on Heritage Day, that's why I did it. Don't forget structs. This is marks, easy marks, easy marks. Look at that. They've given you 6 marks for writing it down. And there's 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're giving you a mark for closing it and the name of it, 6 marks. That's 6 marks out there. That's a lot of marks. Yes, Moses, go ahead. Moses, you have a question?
No, it's not me, sir.
Oh, okay. Right. The next one. Now, you like I did in for the Heritage Day program. Don't go and write out a whole program for this, right? You may not have time. Let's look at right. So this is Structs in October 2020. Let me just show you that it appeared in other papers as well. Let me find the other papers. This was 2021. So let's look at 2021. There's question 20, October 2021. If I look at the last question out here, it's Structs as well. I think I saw that. Structs. There we go. There's it. Define a structure named sales with 2 data elements. The first member stores the ID. They'd ask you for structs. I define a structure called sales. Right? Let's look at there are 6 marks. Let's look at another paper. Let's take another paper. October, November. Let's see, past year questions. No. But structs must appear, right? That I can tell you. Let me find my papers. Like I gave you a tip about past year exam papers. There, January, February 2022. Let's take 2022 paper. Right? If I look at 2022, structs appeared. Structs, is there a struct here? Let's see if 2022 had a struct. Strings. Must have appeared somehow or the other. That's a famous question. Man would have tested you somehow. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find a struct. Okay, but okay, I didn't appear. Again, please don't hold me. I haven't seen the paper, so I'm just making calculated guesses. Okay, Hendrik and Moses.
Yes, Mr. Governor.
Yeah, right. Calculated guesses I'm making. What should come out based on right. Okay. Let's see if I can find another paper to verify and show you something. Right, but 2-dimensional arrays appear, structs appear, a question on strings. Let's take a question let's take another question. I'm not sure. Do I have past year papers? I just want to find another paper quickly to show you how past year exam papers. Let's go all the way back to 2009. There's the October, November. Structs appeared all that way back, and it's generally the last couple of questions. Is there the question on structs. 2009. Ah, there we go. There's a question on structs, right? 2009 paper. Cash registers use barcode reuse to determine the price of an item. The following is associated barcode string. So, Hendrik, if you had to answer this question, question 5, they tell you that the name of the struct is called barcode. So it's going to be struct barcode, just like you had it. So you keep this in mind, right? So keep this in mind, right? You learned about item. So you're going to say struct. You're not going to have the word item. What are you going to have, Hendrik?
Barcode, Mr. Governor.
Correct. You're going to have barcode. And then, Hendrik, they tell you that barcode is going to have a string to store the digits. So,
Yes.
right. Right. Okay. So you're going to have, okay. There's a bit of a dilemma out here because the name of the struct is barcode, capital B, but inside the string, it's small letter b. So yeah. And then price is going to be float. So you're going to have float price and you're going to have string description. So what I want is that you keep a template in your mind of minds that this is how a struct is defined. And if it appears as a question where you need to go and differentiate each field, then you write down the data type first and then the name of the field. And you close it off with a curly bracket and a semicolon, right? So let me quickly take another paper if I have one out here. May, June 2009, right? May, June 2009. Let's see if structs appeared out there. So structs appeared out there. There we go. No, that's not a struct. This is a struct. There we go. Hendrik, check this out. This was a struct. A post office keeps record for all parcels handled. They need to keep the following for each. Write down the declarations of struct for starting. Give the name parcel to the struct. Hendrik. So
okay.
Right. So let's look at it. So the name of the struct is called parcel. Oopsie, the wrong one I got. Okay, so the name of the thing is called parcel, right? So call out each field for me, Hendrik. It's string, floating, yeah.
Yeah, a string, another string, and 2 floating points.
Correct. So give me the first line of the struct declaration.
Okay, the very first line will be struct parcel.
Correct. Small letter S for struct, capital letter P for parcel because that's the way they want it, right? Okay, go.
Okay. Then it's going to be string sender.
Correct.
And string receiver.
Right.
Float weight.
Right.
And float postage.
Correct. Right. And after that, Hendrik?
Hold on. Write down the declarations. Okay, we did that.
Okay, no, you just got to put a curly bracket, close curly bracket. You didn't say close curly bracket.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Okay, so the curly bracket and then a semicolon.
Correct. Lovely, right? So that'll give you 5 marks. Look at that, 5 marks they gave you. It rounds about 5 to 6 marks, and it's easy marks. That's what I'm getting at for you. Easy marks. I can take another one quickly if you want, and let's see if I find another old one. 2015, right? 2015. Let's see if structs appeared in 2015. 2015. Yes, Hendrik, it appeared in 2015. But guess what? They gave you the struct. Consider the following struct, and they asked you to Hendrik, look at this, Hendrik. They gave you the definition of a struct, right? And they told you, write down the following statements that includes insert a new statement in the first position of the array for 1 mark. In the array structs, initialize each element to 0 except for the student with number that. Okay, so structs appeared. But this was a little bit a complicated one because they had an array of structs there, right? Students 10. But my point is structs appeared. Two-dimensional. Two-dimensional array appeared in 2015. There's a two-dimensional array. Declare two-dimensional array with number of students. Right? It appeared. Okay. Variable diagrams. Good point to come up. There's my actual parameters, formal parameters. There's my reference parameters here, 2015. Yep. Don't forget about parameters, functions. All right. Okay. I think there was a question popped up in the chat. I'm not sure. Let's stop the share and see what was it. Hendrik, just check the chat for me there, please, Hendrik, and read out the question.
Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
All right. There's a message from Mulao to everyone. Are we allowed to open code blocks during the exam?
Okay. We're still waiting for a response. Thank you, Precious. Yes, we're still waiting for a response from ma'am, right? So please email her ASAP and copy me if you can. But in the past, I know ma'am has allowed it. In fact, that's a bit of a, I don't know, it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've been doing it for so many years that I know how they set the exam and what were some of the restrictions of what they included. Yeah, so during COVID, I know it was a home exam. You wrote it at home. On the internet, and you used Iris software, proctoring software. Sometimes it was invigilator software. You had to have your camera on, and yeah, and ma'am allowed code blocks, so you could have code blocks running, and yeah. But I don't know what's going to happen in 2024 and how. I haven't used Iris proctoring software. I've used invigilator software. Okay, thank you, Malau. Thank you, Precious. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right.
Mr. Governor?
Yeah.
You don't know anything about the Iris Invigilator software, do you?
No, I don't. I'm honest with you. I don't.
Okay. I was just busy wondering because if we run the Iris and then have the code blocks open, I wondered whether the Iris might get a bit funny or something like that.
Yes. But I know the proctoring software, there's some software that locks your screen, it doesn't allow you to. But again, if ma'am's going to allow you to use code blocks to check your answers or to use it as a trace or a variable, then they should not allow the software to lock your screen as such, right? And some of you,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Just Google this Iris software. By the way, on Monday there's there's an invitation to students. Maybe you can ask that question in the exam. So not in the exam, in the Indaba. There's an Indaba taking place on Monday, 30th of September, 9 to 2 o'clock. And some of the questions that talks on student accounts, financial aid, NSFAS, information assignments, exams. There we go. Please join the session on Monday, and I will be there as well. I'll ask the question about invigilator software, the proctoring software or Iris software, and all of that goes with it. But I don't think it'll be specific to COS 1511 or INP 1501, right? And I'm not sure if the lectures would be there to answer that question on the exam list for that matter. Am I sharing my screen? Are you able to see that?
Yes, Mr. Governor.
Okay, you still can see that. Great. So join that. It's now 5 to 1. I wanted to do one nice question with you, question on two-dimensional arrays and on structs. Yeah. So your study technique, I know I'm repeating myself. Go through each lesson if you can. Let's just open up the study guide. I go through past year questions. I've got, there's my study guide. This is your Bible you can consider for the exam. right? If you don't have time because you have other questions and to answer or other exam papers to work on or modules, go through the end of lessons at the end of each lesson, right? So that where's the end of each lesson, right? That's like a summary of what's going on in the lesson. Answer one of the two questions on your own. Block the answer. You should have the solutions for each programming task. Right? There's the important points in each lesson. Go through all the important points. Answer a question or two, right? On your own. Block the answer. Mark the answer thereafter. Use code blocks. Run the question on code blocks. Change the input. See what happens. And don't leave out any lesson, well, except the last one, the one on classes. For introduction to programming, they have never tested you on the last section. I've never seen it in all my years, 15, 20 years or so. The one on classes, that did not appear. Yeah, it's 2 hours. Start preparing now. Programming, you cannot leave it for the last minute. You can't say I'm going to study the night before and expect to pass introduction to programming course. No ways.
Mr. Governor, may I ask?
Yes.
So I see on the instructions they said that please write as much information as you possibly can. Even on the multiple choices, must we show our working out?
No, not necessary. No. Multiple choice, they just want you to write down A, B, C, D, right? They don't want, yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Because you must think about it. It's only worth 2 marks, right? 2 marks or so. It's not more than that. All right. So I've got lots and lots of videos. Lots of videos. Oh, these are my other courses as well. C++. Where's my C++ videos? Right. All my lessons. All my lessons are there. Oh, my other courses as well. Please go ahead if you're having issues. There's October 11, course 1511 exam paper a month ago. 119 views. So quite a bit. Search for me on Google. There's on YouTube. There's other C++ videos as well. You know, other people. Bucky is another lovely, lots of lovely videos, and all of it is arranged in order. So if you search for Bucky C++. Ah, there we go. Bucky C++. This guy has some nice videos. There we go. Bucky, 73 videos he has. Right? So, and he has it, it's lovely, nice and easily installed code, understand simple printing, variables, if statement, functions, introduction to classes and objects won't appear. Constructors won't appear, separate files, no. If then, yeah. While loops. Don't forget about the loops, assignment statement, for loop, do while, switch statement must appear, either the switch or the if else statement. I've done some nice examples with you. And don't forget about the break. Yeah. There's arrays. Creating an array, using an array in calculation, passing an array. We spoke about that some weeks ago. Okay. I deliberately don't have it like that because I want y'all to attend my Zoom sessions. I want y'all to answer questions. If I show you about Bucky, then you're not going to watch me. You can only watch Bucky. All right. Yeah. Any questions? It's almost 1 o'clock. Anybody?
I don't think so, Mr. Governor, but thank you for reminding me about Bucky. I'd actually forgotten about him in the meantime.
Yeah, Bucky is I always reference him, right? My students, please go. Douglas, hello Douglas. I can see Douglas is on the call. Hi Douglas, say hello. Do you have a question? I think you sent me an email, or was it a WhatsApp? Okay, Douglas is just logged in. It's not right. Moses, are you good, Moses? Swift,
Yes, I'm good, Mr. Governor.
Okay. Can we take our photo now? Can we take our photo? Can we do our class? Oh, let's stop the recording. Henrik, I'm going to stop the recording. time.